California's Central Valley is home to some of the most productive and sustainable livestock operations in the western United States, and at the heart of it, California's leading feed supplier. Founded in 1971, Associated Feed and Supply has used their centralized location to provide the highest quality livestock feed for dairy, poultry, swine, beef, equine, small ruminants, and many more. Let's take a look at the feed making process and see how Associated Feed continues to be a leader in feed manufacturing. It all begins at the Sierra Grain Terminal. Since 1998, this facet of the company has allowed Associated Feed to better serve their customers with commodities and flaked grains. Located on the BNSF Railway, Sierra Grain receives large quantities of ingredients from all over the country. Upon arriving, various products can be processed, such as rolled corn, to be shipped in bulk to large dairy farms. Organic products are sent to Associated Feed's own CCOF certified organic feed processing facility, and conventional products are sent to their West Main facility.
What we'll do after we manufacture the ground corn and things such as that, well, basically what will happen is we've got four major textures here. We've got pellets, crumbles, mashes, and texture feeds. From that point, the pellets, crumbles, and mashes are all typically manufactured. They all start off about the same.
Before all feed is manufactured into different textures, macro and micro ingredients are adjusted, and vitamins, trace minerals, and medications are included at specific amounts. Once all of the materials are added, it is ground into small particles to create the mash. The mash feed can either be shipped in bulk, sent to the bagging line, or utilized to create a pellet.
So the pelleting process is actually fairly simple. What will happen is the mash feed will then be dropped over a major bin. It'll drop down through a feeder screw, which then goes through a steam conditioner. That steam will then be ran basically aggressively through there to activate any starches such as that, and then it'll run through our pelleting die. The die will basically be pushed out of it's the mash feed that gets pushed through a bunch of small little holes, and a blade that's in the die will actually cut it and send it out to a cooler, which then it's cooled, and then it runs through a shaker where any fines are returned back to the pellet mill to run back through, or it's sent straight out to the tank.
Once the pellet is manufactured, it can also pass through the crumbler to produce a crumble feed designed for multiple species that require or perform at a higher level on a smaller particle-sized feed.
So texture feed, what will happen is basically a yard operator will get his production sheet. He'll say what grains he needs to add to his mix. That's what we'll add is corn, barley, oats, and liquids such as that. It'll run through a mixer truck from there. It'll get mixed and blended until it's blended thoroughly, and it'll either get sent to our bulk system or our sack system.
All bulk feed is loaded into a truck and sent directly to the customer. Sack feed takes a journey to Associated Feed's state-of-the-art bagging system. Once the feed arrives, the sacking operator determines if the feed will automatically be measured into 25, 50, or 70-pound sacks. From there, the palletizer loads the sacks onto a pallet and it is wrapped prior to shipping.
So overall, I mean, technology has come a long way from where it was the past 20 years. Actually, one of the major feats of this facility is our bagging line, which about 6 years ago used to be all hand stacked. So the feed would be sent over, we'd bag it all by hand and stack it all by hand.
We're fortunate to be able to work with a lot of national companies as well as local companies that are known on a national level or scale, I should say. Obviously within our company, the Swanson family, the Swanson brand, we have the Showmaker line, which when I was feeding in high school years ago, that's what I fed. In addition to the Showmaker line, we've teamed up with other companies that are a little more nationally known, and that'd be Showrite. That line of feed within all those species is very, very good. In certain species, it's just flat out dominant. We also have the Lindner feed. We do just the hog feed on the Lindner side. On the cattle side, we work, obviously, a lot of people are going to know Blaine Rogers, that used to be from, live in California, now he lives in Missouri. We make Blaine's line of cattle feed, that'd be Rival. Feed's only been around a handful of years, and it's probably been as dominant as anything that's been out here. And then kind of along the supplement lines, there's a couple companies we work with, whether it could be minerals or a prebiotic type of situation there, and that'd be Biozyme. We do a lot with Biozyme there out of St. Joe's, some very unique and cutting edge products there. And then also Steve McGowan, we do some of his products, 3 hours out, attitude adjustment, that kind of stuff. Something that a lot of people don't realize or know that we have is a very good line of horse products. It's formulated by Kentucky Equine Research there in Kentucky, and that feed is a very, very good feed. It's a high-end feed that feeds a lot of successful performance horses. There are some very good products throughout that line. It's a complete line of feed. Doesn't matter if you're starting young horses or you're talking senior horses, that is a very complete line of feed, and we're really lucky to have a sales rep that works for us that is very knowledgeable on the horse side. We work with some very, very good companies, some very good individuals, so if us as a sales rep doesn't have the right answer for you, we can always rely on some of those individuals that would have those answers, and we can get them to you.
So regardless if you're buying 3 tons of bulk feed or a single bag from your local feed store, you can always depend on Associated Feed and Supply to equip you with the highest quality feed from the highest quality people, time and time again.
We're pretty fortunate as a sales team. I think all of us have the same interests. We have the same goals in mind. Probably one of our biggest goals is just helping our customers kind of achieve success.